family, welcome to my channel. 2026 is fast approaching, so I, along with a lot of other readers, am looking into what I want to read in the new year. I've gotten myself a little TBR together of things that I want to read, series I want to start, series I want to finish, authors I want to look into. I'm just gonna get started in showing you my 2026 TBR. I have it kind of organized where it has series first and then individual books. So the first series that I want to start and hopefully read in the new year is the DC Star series. This is a interconnected hockey romance series. I'm normally not like, oh, hockey romance. However, I, along with the rest of the world, have been obsessed with heated rivalry lately, so some more hockey romances have been coming across my desk. There is a couple of content creators that I can trust for recommendations because I usually have a similar taste to them, and of those creators that I've seen that have read this series have really loved it. So I'm hoping that I also really love it and enjoy it. I know the first one is Face Off. There's also Power Play, Slapshot, Hat Trick, and I believe Sin Bin just came out. I'm assuming these are references to hockey. I don't actually really like hockey all that much, but another series that I want to get into this year is the Windy City series. I feel like genuinely everybody and their mother has read this series except for me. This is an interconnected sports romance series, but there's different sports throughout the books in the series, so I'm excited for that. There's Mile High, The Right Move, Caught Up, Play Along, and there's another one that came out recently and I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's red. Okay, anyway, I need to read that series and be caught up with everybody else. The next series is a series that I started and want to finish, and that's the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. I read the first book before I let go, and this book was just so good, so good. I think Kennedy Ryan is like just one of the greatest romance writers ever. She's able to write romance and communication in just such a beautiful way while also making her characters really, really deep and going through complex emotional things. I thought Before I Let Go was just amazing and beautiful and wonderful, and I need to finish the series. The series follows 3 girlfriends and their relationships and what is happening for them in love. I'm really excited to read the second book because in the first book we got to learn a little bit about the female main character that's in the second book, and I really hate that girl's husband and I think she deserves so much better. I'm hearing they get a divorce in this book, so I'm really excited about that. That's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. I'm really excited for her to get a divorce from this man, not because I want her to go through something tragic, but because I want her to be able to find better. The next series that I want to finish is the Game Changer series. As I mentioned earlier, I, along with the rest of the world, am obsessed with heated rivalry. When heated rivalry first came across my desk, I read Heated Rivalry and The Long Game, which are books number 2 and 6 of this series. Also, when Scott and Kip's episode came out, I read Game Changer, the first book in that series. So I've read books 1, 2, and 6 of the series. And so I need to read the other 3 that I haven't read. Those are Tough Guy, Common Goal, and Role Model. Out of those 3, I'm most excited for Role Model. That one is following Troy and Harris. They were my favorite side couple from The Long Game, so I'm very excited about that. This next book I want to talk about, I might read it in one day at the very end of the year this year. It's currently the 29th. It comes out tomorrow and I will literally have it in my hands tomorrow. That's In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. Sarah Adams is proving to be one of my favorite romance authors. This is the 4th book in the When in Rome series, which I absolutely adore. I love that series to death. And they've been teasing the couple in this book, Maddie and James, for the entire series, and this is the 4th book in the series. It's the last book, which is sad because I won't be, in this world with these characters anymore, but I'm really excited because they've been teasing these characters in this relationship for literally the entire series, and I will have it in my hands tomorrow. And so I don't know if this is going to be the first read of 2026 or the last read of 2025, but it's definitely on my radar and I'm putting it on my 2026 TBR so that way there's no pressure on me to read it in one day tomorrow, but I might just read it in one day tomorrow because I am so excited for it. The next book is to finish a duology, so not really a series, but it's the second in a duology, and that is Two Twisted Crowns. I read One Dark Window in summer of last year and I really loved it, but I don't read fantasy that often, so it does take me some time to get through it and I have to be in the right headspace. So I said I know exactly when I'm going to be in the perfect headspace to read the sequel, and that's going to be in the fall. And then in the fall I got really into playing The Sims and I wasn't reading at all because I was like really into playing The Sims, and so I never read the second book. But I'm going to try and read it at least before the end of winter because I don't want to forget what happened in One Dark Window, and also I want to be like having the right vibes for fantasy. I also really loved One Dark Window and I'm really excited to read Two Twisted Crowns. So that is very high on my radar. Another fantasy series I have on my radar is An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I read like half of the first book back in 2020 and then I didn't finish it because at the time I wasn't like super into fantasy. And I don't know what it is, I remember I was slumping really hard at the time when I tried to read this book and I just couldn't get through it. And it wasn't because of that book. But from what I remember is I was really enjoying it. It was just because I was slumping so hard and I never picked it back up. But I've seen a couple of people read that book and that series this year and I really want to get back into it. So An Ember in the Ashes is very high on my radar. Another fantasy book that I've been wanting to read is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I have a couple of her books, but I really want to read The Poppy War because everybody talks about how like devastating it is, but also how good it is. Fantasy is harder for me to like really love, so I tend to gravitate towards books that are like more universally loved by the book community, and Poppy War is one of them. And so I'm really excited to read The Poppy War. From what I've seen, like I do know it is a very dark and devastating one. However, it does seem like something I would enjoy reading. Like it seems like the type of fantasy that I like. So I'm really excited for that. On a lighter note, the last installment of the Heartstopper series is coming out this year. If you don't know, Heartstopper is a graphic novel series. I've been reading it since before the TV show was even announced. So I'm so excited for the last installment of the series, and I'm also gonna be really sad because it's the last installment of the series and we have no more Heartstopper. It's just such a cute series and I'm gonna miss being in that world so much. Next year I also want to read the rest of Sally Rooney's backlist. I read Normal People a while ago and loved it. I really love Normal People. I think about Normal People twice a week and each time I do I tear up. Normal People is one of those books that just really stuck with me. So I want to read the rest of Sally Rooney's backlist, which from what I understand is Conversations with Friends, Beautiful World, Where Are You, and Intermezzo. The only one I don't have is Intermezzo, which I can get easily. I really want to work my way through her backlist because I really enjoyed her writing in Normal People, which is a hot take. Not everybody loves her writing, but I really liked it. The next book I want to read is one that I've seen people reading a lot, which is I Who Have Never Known Men. I have this, it's just in my room and at school. All of my books are at school except for a select few. From what I understand, it's like post-apocalyptic sci-fi, that kind of deal. And from what I understand of it, like I will really enjoy it. I want to read this because I'm really interested in expanding my reading taste, like the genres I read. And I have a couple of books I want to read in this year that it will hopefully help me expand into that. I want to get more into like literary fiction, more like just genre fiction, mystery, thriller maybe. I just want to expand into those types of things because right now I primarily read romance, and there's nothing wrong with reading romance. I just would also like to read other genres, and I feel like I haven't been doing my diligence to read from other genres lately, so that is going to be a priority in 2026. I have 4 books with me here that are part of my TBR of what I want to read in 2026. The first one is The Wedding People that I've seen everybody read. This takes place in Rhode Island and it's about this girl who's having her wedding. I think it's on like a specific island, and there's also this other girl who's there like having me time and they confide in each other. That's what I've grasped. But I'm excited to read. this. Everybody's been saying that it's really good, and so I'm really excited to get into this one. The next one is a completely different turn, and that is Tender is the Flesh. This is like a dystopian type of thing where they do end up eating people. It's supposed to be really fucked up, but I'm excited to read this. I gave this to my friend for her birthday and she really liked it, so excited to read. From what I understand, animals have been infected with a virus that's really poisonous to humans, so they have to start eating other humans. And so that does sound crazy. But I think that's literally the point, is that it's crazy, that it's not like... Anyways, excited to read this. Next book is Remarkably Bright Creatures. This book is about a woman where her husband dies, and so she starts working at this aquarium taking care of this octopus, and we also get chapters from the octopus's perspective. The octopus is named Marcellus. Mine has cool sprayed edges, which is fun. I also did not know that it was coming to Netflix, but I'm super excited to read this. I've heard such great things about it. This next book is, I believe it's like a thriller or mystery of some sort, and that's Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I've heard like mixed things about this, but I've also heard Alice Feeney is a good place to like start when you're getting into mystery, thriller, that kind of stuff. I don't really understand the difference between mystery, thriller, horror as a genre, because to me it's all scary. But yeah, she's a good place to start. I'm excited. It's about, I know the husband has face blindness. They kind of have like a tumultuous relationship, and I also believe it's like, I hate to say this on a book that is not romance, but like there's some sort of forced proximity aspect. Like there's like a trip involved. So yeah, super excited to read this in 2026. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great new year, and I'm super excited to get into these books in the new year and see what everybody is reading in the new year. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye!